I'm hoping that my voice will come back if I drink lots of whiskey.
Say it's good for your throat.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the Fact Bar.
That was the intro.
Yep, keeping that one. How did we start this last time?
It's been that long since we did the last one.
We did record it a long time ago.
You got something to tell us, right?
Yeah, so, I was recently doing a video on Jurassic Park. And,
flawless movie.
Brilliant movie. But whilst fact-checking, I found out something very interesting that was not really related to Jurassic Park, but made me go on a complete, like, what's it called when you go off on
a tangent?
It wasn't a tangent though. What's it called when not a deep dive? I don't know. I can't remember the word. Someone will tell me.
Rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole. Yes, I opened a rabbit hole about something else, and that something else is Nicolas Cage.
Of course.
Yes.
Is this to do with him buying a T-Rex skull by any chance?
It's actually nothing to do with that.
I love it. Like, he apparently links to Jurassic Park in more ways than that.
What I've done is I've compiled a list of 10 facts about Nicolas Cage, which I found online, which purport to be true. And I would like to share these with you.
It's like, I feel like Nicolas Cage is such just an enigma that you're never quite sure what shit out there is actually true or false.
I originally, this wasn't what I was going to do for this. I was just curious to see, like, if there was any other things about Nick Cage I didn't know. And I found so many things that if it was anyone else, I would have thought it was made up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With it being Nick Cage, it's like, that could be true.
Yeah, no, it is true.
Yeah. It is they are definitely true facts. They're not like...
the websites that so basically I found them on various websites that were listing things about Nick Cage, and then I verified them by looking at other websites, but they could all have the same source, even though the source is usually Nick Cage. Because they've got, like,
But you can't even believe Nick Cage at this point.
I believe everything Nick Cage says.
I do not.
Every word. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the one that started this all off. Nick Cage helped with the casting in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
So
he helped in a way, like he helped cast
what happened?
the actors, or...
What happened was, so the actress who plays Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern, she was working with Cage on a film called Wild at Heart, and they were talking about their upcoming projects, and she happened to mention that she had an offer to participate in Jurassic Park, and Nick Cage, and this is apparently the exact quote, was, "Wait, you get to do a movie where dinosaurs are your co-stars? Who can I pay to be part of that movie? Those are the co-stars I've always wanted." And so she took it because Nick Cage made it sound like it was awesome.
I mean, he was right.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was right.
I can't believe that Nick Cage didn't have enough money and pull it in the industry to not get in on that movie in the end then. Also, Brad's put himself in Jurassic Park.
That's why I chose the background. Originally, I was just going to be talking about Jurassic Park. Nick Cage fact number 2. And but by the way, these go up in unrealisticness. I've tried to put them in order.
Of course.
Nick Cage fact number 2. Nick Cage was once stalked by a mime.
Seems believable. Might have been a big fan.
I love Lucas is just like, I don't know what to say.
I feel like the mime could be quoting things he said in films at him. Like,
It was Lucas.
How would you quote, like, in mime, like, you can't live in fear? Like, how would you quote that as a mime?
How's that?
I just a moment to appreciate all those people that have to do, like, you know, the in like people that doing sign language in the bottom corner to translate, and they're doing like random songs with made up words and stuff, or like sci-fi shows and shit, and they're like, it's like they've got to just act on the fly and translate. I have so much respect for those people.
You just like watch when someone swears as well in a TV show. You're like looking like, what's the swear word?
What's the swear word? I want to know.
I think it was like, I can't remember the exact song.
It's just
I think it might have been like, you know, WAP, and there was the interpreter to the side of the stage having to mime that song lyric out, and it's like,
oh no.
All right, that person needs a raise. I'll tell you that.
But the story behind this was that in 2009, Nick Cage had said there was a mime that was just following him everywhere. He kept getting past security on the film sets he was on and doing weird shit in view of him. So he eventually had this person removed, and he described them as silent but maybe deadly.
For fuck's sake. It reminds me of that, I don't know, I think you've seen Impractical Jokers, Brad.
I have, yeah.
I'm a fan as well, yes.
That one where they handcuff a mime to Q, and he has to spend like, is it 24 hours with a mime or longer? It might have been longer than that. That's what I'm imagining him with Nick Cage. Obviously not tied to him, but just the extremeness of it.
It's in the background of every shot he's in. Try to deliver his lines with as much emphasis as possible, just in the background.
Like, I'm just so surprised that security just let this mime get through.
Well, they said he just somehow got through.
He was silent but maybe deadly, that's how.
Maybe he, like, turned himself into stuff. Like, he was pretending to be like a bin and no one could see him.
That works.
Just,
that
like,
works.
Turned himself into a chair, and then they were like, oh, this must be a prop.
Nick Cage fact number 3. Nick Cage once impersonated a pilot and told the passengers the plane was crashing.
No.
Oh no.
He didn't.
He did.
True.
There's an extra layer to this as well, that he was travelling at the time with Charlie Sheen, who was smuggling drugs.
Of course.
And when
the
when the plane landed and the pilot started shouting at Nick Cage and all these armed men were coming up to arrest him, he pointed at Charlie Sheen and said it was him.
What was he like? I have one gear. Go.
just disappears out of the room.
Surely, Nick Cage should have been arrested and put in jail for that.
Well, apparently he talked his way out of it. But the exact...
Fucking hell.
what apparently happened was he grabbed the intercom that I think the hosts use on the plane and said that I'm the pilot, I'm not feeling well, and I'm losing control of the aircraft.
Did he also say, by the way, you can't live in fear?
We should probably provide some context for this for anyone's listening, because that's twice you've mentioned
I think don't. I just
okay,
don't do it.
Let's not. Someone will know. Someone in the comments will know. Okay, you ready for the next Nick Cage fact?
Yes.
This one is probably a little more believable. Nick Cage has a shrunken head collection.
Yeah.
100% believe that.
Got a collection of shrunken pygmy heads. Some facts that didn't make it onto the list. He owns a shark, or owned a shark. We know he had some cobras, because we did a video on that one.
He really seems like the type of person that's like, I've got money, I'm going to buy weird shit.
Yeah, I think, that sums him up.
See, he spent millions on a T-Rex skull, didn't he? And that's like one of the famous ones.
I think it was 300,000 or something for the T-Rex skull, and then he had to... Well, he returned it voluntarily because he found out that it was stolen.
Okay.
Because Nick Cage is also, like, while we're saying all this stuff about him and joking about him, he's apparently one of the most generous men in Hollywood. Like, he's allowed to be this nuts because he's also generous and arguably, honestly, one of the best actors ever. Like, I don't mean in terms of like acting skill. I mean in terms of he will put himself into every role. Doesn't matter what it is.
It's like, I don't know if you guys have watched Community.
I've watched.
There is an episode where Abed, who is like a film student, is trying to answer the question of, is Nicolas Cage good or bad? And he goes and watches every single Nick Cage film, and he's like, but he's bad in this one, and he's good in this one, and it sends him completely insane, to the point where he then goes crazy and does like a weird cat impression of Nick Cage on the desk, and you'll have to watch the clip, but yeah, it's just Abed goes insane, and it's like, just the question of, is Nick Cage an awful actor, or is he the greatest actor of all time?
Next Nick Cage fact. Nick Cage credits some of his acting skill to an octopus.
Why does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I mean, Carl may have mentioned some of these in videos before. The thing I love about this is that, like, this format that we're having is us having this conversation. Every time I mention one of these, both of you go silent, and your faces are so confused.
Because, like, what am I supposed to do when you tell me that Nick Cage acts like an octopus?
He didn't say acted like it. He credits... he bought an octopus for $150,000. He never explained how, but he said that it helped him to act. He called it his acting aid.
It's sensei.
Yes.
I'm trying to imagine how.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like...
Maybe
In what world? What does the octopus do to influence Nick Cage?
I guess it's
acting
something to do with
skills?
maybe the fluidity of its movement, and he can sort of use it as like an aid to.
I can imagine it helping someone to like maybe dance, like
Dancing with the octopus, or like Octodad.
oh god,
Oh god.
forgot about that game.
Okay, moving on.
Like, wait, no. Like, do we have an answer to the octopus question? Like,
He bought an octopus, and he told some people that it helped improve his acting. He also said he found it restful to watch it swim around.
elaborate. Nick.
I don't.
come on.
Yeah, Nick Cage, if you're watching this, get in touch.
Please, Nick.
Please, Nick, we must know.
Nicholas, I need to know how an octopus helped you act.
But we have to keep going, guys, because there's plenty more Nick Cage facts to go. This is the longest episode of the Fact Bar so far, even though we've only had 3. Nick Cage once woke up to find a naked man he didn't know eating ice cream next to his bed.
That works. Yeah. That.
I guess.
That adds
Yeah,
up.
seems
It's
about right.
he was
It
I've
seems
no
like a
words.
perfectly normal day for Nicolas Cage.
he was in bed with his wife. A naked man who was wearing a leather jacket and eating a fudgesicle was stood at the end of his bed, and he woke up and saw this guy.
Is it weirder or more normal that his wife was also there?
I don't follow. Is he not allowed to sleep with his wife?
No. But like the random man and his wife is like, is it weirder that him and his wife and the random person were there, or is it weirder that like he would just wake up in a hotel with a random dude?
Well,
Yeah, I
it
thought
wasn't a
hotel
hotel. It was
originally.
his house.
Yeah, because I thought hotel maybe.
It
but
was
no.
it was his house he was living with his wife and his child.
Oh god.
Some,
Yeah.
Makes
some
it
some guy
creepy.
broke in, and I think the leather jacket that the guy was wearing was one of Nick Cage's. I'm
Was it
guessing
the
was-
mime?
Maybe.
Steal his just stole his leather jacket.
I mean, if you've got that much money, does a leather jacket really matter when
I guess.
strangers broke into your bed?
Yeah, I'd like we're joking about it. Nick Cage said it sounded funny, but he also said it was terrifying.
Mhm.
Like anybody
Yeah.
waking up and finding that it's like it's weird enough finding someone in your room. To find someone who is not only in your room, like in your bedroom while you've been sleeping, but is naked wearing some of your clothes and eating a fudgesicle. Did they bring it with
Well,
them?
if he's wearing some of his clothes, he's not naked, is he?
I feel like if someone's ballsy enough to like get your clothes, they're probably ballsy enough to go and steal a bit of food out your fridge.
I
or
honestly
freezer.
thought you were about to say if someone's balls are out, then they're naked.
That, to be fair, that might be the classification. That if your genitals are out, it doesn't matter whether you've got some form of clothes on or not.
It's just a leather jacket and nothing else.
Just
Because
imagine.
I class that as naked.
All right, Lucas. In that case, what if somebody had a shirt with a like a blazer of it and a tie? They're wearing a
Okay.
top hat,
Yeah.
and then they had like knee-high socks and shoes on, but nothing on the groin down area. Would you class them as naked?
I would class that as like, yeah, naked roleplay. The balls are out.
If the balls are out, they're naked. Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Next, Nick Cage fact. Nick Cage is the reason that Johnny Depp is an actor.
I mean, yeah, it's believable. I mean,
Yeah.
if he knew someone who knows someone who knows someone, get him into the acting.
Nepotism is the game.
Apparently, they were
obviously.
they were friends by accident. This is just I was reading through the facts. I was like, you wouldn't really think that Nick Cage and Johnny Depp were mates. I don't know if they still are. But
I wonder what
apparently,
the age difference is.
they were both in Hollywood at the same time trying to become actors.
Hmm.
So I don't know. They might be similar age, but
So they look similar ages to me.
I feel like they don't. I feel like they look similar ages, but one looked after themselves a lot better.
yeah, according to the story that I read, they were playing Monopoly together, and Nick Cage was like, "You should be an actor," and Johnny Depp went, "No, I want to be a musician," and Nick Cage went, "No, be an actor." So Depp went on to become an actor.
But
Hmm.
wasn't Johnny Depp in a movie when he was like a teenager?
It was Nightmare on Elm Street was his first film, 1984. This was when that
Yeah.
happened. Right, I'm going to quickly blow my nose and I'll carry on. We're definitely going to put this bit in. You ready?
Please cut out any of my sniffs and coughs.
I'm going to leave them all in. Every single one.
It's
I'll make
just
them loud.
so
Please add me coughing when I'm not coughing. It's like Lucas's mouth doesn't even move when he coughs. What the fuck?
The first inklings that New Lucas isn't human. We'll just make this running gag through all of the things we do on this channel. That gradually, like, because we were saying before we started, like, I've got an addiction to backdrops. And there'll just be a video further down the line where you guys have to put me into rehab because you found me rolling around in a sea of backdrops. And then we'll also have that Lucas isn't human. That's why his hair keeps changing colour, because he's trying to adapt to humanity and he can't do it quite right.
I can't figure out just a natural hair colour.
Yeah, because everyone's got different hair colours. Which one do you have to look natural?
Exactly.
Oh, look at that beard. No one has a beard that colour. It's too vibrant. And he's even given us a clue. He's got an alien in his room behind him.
So that's a dog. That's a dog.
Assistant. Assistant.
Oh, God. Alright, so we have 3 Nick Cage facts left. Are you ready? So, Nick Cage wants to shrooms because his cat told him to.
Okay.
What?
So,
I'm sorry. What?
So
It just sounds like he did shrooms before his cat told him to.
he had some shrooms in his fridge and he said that his cat would keep going and trying to get to them, and his cat took some shrooms. And Nick Cage looked at his cat and thought, he might be onto something here, and so took some shrooms himself.
It's not the cat telling him.
The cat.
It was a funny title. I liked it.
The cat splayed out on the sofa like, "Come on, man! You don't know what you're missing out on, dude."
I have an exact quote. I remember lying in my bed for hours, and Lewis was on the desk across from the bed for hours,
Lewis.
and we were just staring at each other, not moving. But he would stare at me, and I had no doubt that he was my brother. I'm guessing Lewis was the cat.
That sounds like laughing at Lewis.
I've never done
Or
shrooms
cat
myself, but the only time I've talked to people who have done shrooms personally is like 2 of my mates, and one of them, like, they both took shrooms in a back garden. One of them thought they were a spider, and the other one thought they were the other person, and thought themselves had ran away.
What the fuck?
And started getting panicked because they'd been gone and they were the other person.
What mental gymnastics do you need to do to convince yourself that you are someone else and that the actual you was gone?
This is why I don't do stuff like this. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
This next one is my personal favourite, second to last one. Nick Cage will not eat any animal that has weird sex.
What classifies as weird sex?
Anything that he considers to be undignified. For example, he thinks that pigs have undignified mating, and so he will not eat them.
Okay.
But he thinks that fish and birds are very dignified, and so he will eat them.
I mean, like, fish keep it civil. They don't even make contact most of the time.
Well, you obviously haven't met the same fish I have.
Well, that's true.
I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a weird thing to, like, take into consideration when you eat meat.
Yeah, I know plenty of people that, like, don't eat certain meats based on texture and stuff like that, or obviously there's, like, pescatarians that will eat fish and not meat. But the idea that, like, nah, that one's too dirty.
You filthy animals.
Literally.
I don't like the positions they use, so I'm not going to eat it.
Oh, yeah. No, that was my personal favourite, because it was just so bizarre.
I just don't know how you classify how dignified sex is among the animal kingdom.
By watching a lot of it, I would imagine.
Apparently.
Nick Cage.
Like, I don't even know how most animals mate, other than, like, you know, the classic, just, I guess they mount each other and...
I can just imagine someone saying, oh, Nick, have you ever tried guinea fowl? And Nick Cage is like, let me check. Gets his phone out. Guinea fowl sex.
That's just his YouTube history.
You ever had
It's
an
just
ostrich
mating.
burger and he's like, hang on, give me a minute. Like,
Oh my god. That's just weird.
like, I don't know enough about animal sex to know which ones would be dignified or not.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
why,
really something we look into.
why does he have so much information?
Also, what does he class as dignified? Like, do they
Exactly.
have to like candlelit dinners for each other? And
I guess,
By the
you know,
fireplace.
maybe it's like if
With
they do
sheepskin
foreplay.
sheepskin.
If they do foreplay
Careless
and wear
Whisper playing in
lingerie,
the
then it's
background.
okay. Just, I
Oh
just,
my god.
what a man.
Oh,
What
God.
man that just looked at pigs and went, they do it too dirty.
Oh, I kind of wish I'd ended on that one, but I've got one more for you. Nick Cage bought multiple castles to find the Holy Grail.
This man has too much money. Why is he buying
Come on,
castles?
please take his bank card.
So he
Hide
spent
it.
12.3 million, I assume, dollars on 2 castles because he was hunting for the Holy Grail. He lost these castles when he had money troubles, and he was quoted as saying, "You have good investments and bad investments."
That's it.
I mean, he took a risk,
Fair.
but think about if he did find the Holy Grail.
Yeah, maybe he did.
That's why he's a vampire and never ages.
Well, another one of these facts I found that isn't on the list is that he had to actually publicly say he wasn't a vampire because someone found a picture of someone who looked like him, like if you in black and white, and he had to come out and be like, "I'm not a vampire."
Weird fan theories of like pictures throughout time of people that look exactly like
Daniel
Nicolas
Radcliffe
Cage.
has loads of those, isn't there?
Surely, if you were a vampire and didn't want people to know, the first thing you would do is tell everyone that you're not a vampire, right?
Good point.
Interesting. Maybe Nick Cage is a vampire.
Or maybe you just keep stealing people's faces. Face off.
Yeah, longer one, but hope everybody enjoyed hearing about Nick Cage. Nick, one of the most interesting men I think the planet has. I'm trying to think of how do we end this one. Eat your 3 wings, people. No, you can only have your 3 wings if they have sex in a nice way. Yeah.
2 chickens have dignified sex. That's what we need to know.
The 1 wing that they use for the dodgy stuff is the one you don't eat. That's why it's 3 wings.
No.
Oh god.